If anyone is in contact with the judge that gave the fight 48-47 to Marlon Vera, please let me know what he was on while watching that fight because I need some of that in my life. But jokes aside, Cory Sandhagen is really good. He's really good, man. And I think we already knew that, but this fight just kind of proved it to me even more. Cory Sandhagen, he just keeps improving everywhere, especially in the wrestling. We saw him implement wrestling in the Sandhagen fight this past September, but in this fight, it was just much. I don't know if yeah, it was much better. It was more effective. The top control was really nice. The ground and pound was even a bit better, and yeah, Cory Sandhagen just keeps improving. I think he improved more in since his last fight than Marlon Vera did since his last fight against Dominic Cruz, and I think that was just the ultimate decider as to who was gonna win this fight. Also, the fact that we know Chito Vera is a slow starter. Everybody knows this. We knew he was gonna lose the first 2 rounds most likely, and we knew that he was probably gonna need either a finish or just some really dominant third, fourth, and fifth rounds if he wanted to win this fight. If he wanted a chance at winning this fight, and that just didn't really happen. Cory Sandhagen was just able to keep going, able to keep the pressure and a good enough pace. He was able to take the fight by split decision again. Don't really know what that last judge was thinking. Giving Chito Vera all 3 of the last rounds, it's kind of hard to give him all 3 of them. Chito Vera did get outstruck in every round. I think there was one of those rounds. It was either the third or the fourth that you really probably could have made an argument for Marlon Vera to win that fight. I think 49-46 for Cory Sandhagen was probably the the card that made the most sense. That's definitely tells kind of the whole story of this fight better in my opinion. But yeah, 48-47 for Chito Vera is just not it, because Chito Vera did not win that fight. He did not win really anywhere, not even on the feet or on the ground, or I guess you could say maybe damage, but it looked like Cory Sandhagen landed kind of the more damaging shots as well, so he can't even win there. Cory Sandhagen overall is just kind of the better striker. He's definitely the better wrestler. He got a lot of control time, which I expected. I didn't expect him to get as much takedowns as he did. He got a lot of top control time. He's doing really good there, especially in the first and second rounds where it was the most prominent. And, I talked about, or actually everybody talked about how Chito Vera is a very slow starter. We knew he was going to lose the first 2 rounds, but me personally, I also knew that Chito Vera wasn't going to knock Cory Sandhagen out, but I also knew that Sandhagen wasn't going to knock Chito Vera out. So it was kind of like, okay, this fight's probably going to go to a decision. And a guy who's a slow starter like Marlon Vera, who usually gets outstruck in his fights, who's not really dominant throughout unless you're Rob Font, who was going to win the fight? It was just like Cory Sandhagen's probably going to take the fight, and he did. And I don't know, man. It's just he's definitely improved a lot from his last couple fights, ever since the Jan fight and ever since his loss before that against Aljamain Sterling. He's just been constantly improving on his game, his technique, his movements as well. I really like his movements. The movement was also a big difference in this fight. Chito Vera was just like moving backwards. He wasn't very good. Side to side, he wasn't very good. We already knew this, but there was not really that many improvements in that game either. Chito Vera was on the back foot a lot as well. Cory Sandhagen was the one dictating the pressure, the pace for the majority of the fight, and that's another big reason why he won a lot of those rounds. If we're not counting the fact that Sandhagen outstruck Chito Vera completely. I mean, the strike differential was pretty crazy. You can go look it up if you want to. I forgot, but it was a pretty big number. Yeah, I don't know, man. Cory Sandhagen, he's pretty good. Now, the title of this video, could Cory Sandhagen go on another title run? Now, Marlon Vera right now, he's number 3. I think, especially looking back at it now, putting Chito Vera at number 3 was a bit much. Kind of ranking him a bit too high. Petr Yan should have been at number 3. I think on Tuesday, when the rankings do get updated and released to the public, Petr Yan should be at number 3. Chito Vera should be back at number 5 like he was before. And Cory Sandhagen should be back in number 4 like he was before. And after that, if my whole prediction for the rankings turns out to be true, then it's okay. Now we got Cory Sandhagen at number 4, Petr Yan at 3, Sean O'Malley's at 2, Merab is at 1. Cory Sandhagen did call out Merab Dvalishvili for their next fight. I think that have to be a fight night main event. Don't put that on a pay-per-view. That should be fight night main event. That deserves 5 rounds. Come on. You know that deserves 5 rounds. Give that fight 5 rounds. Definitely should be a 5-rounder, and it'd be number 1 versus number 4, at least in my book, in my opinion. That's how it would be, because Petr Yan did beat Cory Sandhagen already. It'd be kind of weird to put Cory over Petr Yan. It wouldn't really make too much sense. Petr Yan's only really lost to the number 1, 2, and the champion. So he's also beaten Cory Sandhagen. So I don't know. I guess you could say because Cory Sandhagen beat someone who was ranked higher, but Marlon Vera shouldn't have been ranked higher than Petr Yan, and we all know this. I feel like maybe Petr Yan versus Marlon Vera is the next fight to make, but I think Cory Sandhagen versus Merab is the one that they're definitely gonna match up next. I think that's a good one to make, especially while Sterling and Cejudo kind of fight, because there's a lot of competition right now for the title shot, especially at bantamweight. There's Merab, there's Sean O'Malley, and now there's Cory Sandhagen, and Cejudo just out of nowhere is coming out of retirement to just kind of like make everybody else wait so that he can get that title shot. It's not really to make everybody else wait. Cejudo kind of deserves that title shot. He is very well accomplished, not only in bantamweight but also in flyweight, just in mixed martial arts in general. So I think he does deserve that title shot and that main event spot. I think that's great. But there's also a lot of guys waiting in line, so you can't just have these guys wait forever. Bantamweight, there's just a lot to ask of in bantamweight. There's too much competition. There's too many big names. We can't just stop the division. We can't just have everybody waiting for their line next to the title shot. These people have to fight, and I think Cory Sandhagen and Merab are gonna have to fight sometime down the line, maybe in the next couple months. But it definitely should be a main event headliner for a fight night. Probably gonna be sometime in the summer. Like I expect maybe a July or an August day, something like that. Maybe a September, like Sandhagen's last fight, or August, like Merab's fight before the Petr Yan fight. The fight with Aldo. Who knows? But I expect that's the trajectory that they would be on. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but regardless, also Sean O'Malley versus Cory Sandhagen would be a really fun fight as well. I think that'd be an incredible display of striking, but also Sandhagen definitely wins in the wrestling department, I feel like. So, if you wanted to make that one 5 rounds or even 3 rounds, I think Cory Sandhagen takes that one for sure. The fight with Merab, though, I honestly just think Merab beats everyone in the division. I think Merab, if he fought Sterling right now, he'd be the champion. I think Merab, he just has a crazy pace, and his striking's improved. He's much more exciting than we initially anticipated. His wrestling, his pressure, his pace is crazy. I talked about this before, and his cardio is insane. But this isn't about Merab. This is just about Sandhagen. I think realistically, if he wanted to make a run to the title, just have to beat Sean O'Malley. Don't go for the Merab fight, because that's too big of a risk. I think if you want to go for Sean O'Malley, it's a more winnable fight, and it's kind of the guy that everybody wants to see fight for the title. But me personally, I think Sean O'Malley will sit it out. I think he's just gonna wait. But also, if you're a guy like Sean O'Malley who's just gonna sit back and wait, there's also Merab and Sandhagen. I don't know. I don't think Sean O'Malley, if he wants to wait, could wait for too long. So Cory Sandhagen will probably surpass him in that time, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, who knows? Cory Sandhagen, could he make another run to the title? He could. Do I think he'll win the title? No, I don't think so. At least not right now. We'd have to see maybe a bit more. Maybe the fight with Merab, if he or any new training footage, any new improvements. He proved a lot in this fight, that's for sure, but I don't think it's enough for the title shot, especially against such high level guys that are up there now, is what I'm trying to say. But also Holly Holm, she's still killing it. She's still doing pretty crazy. I think she should be number 2. I think she should fight Juliana Pena, because Juliana Pena's not getting the trilogy. She's not getting the third fight with Amanda Nunes, not anytime soon at least. If she beats Holly Holm, then she should get it. If Holly Holm wins, then she should get it, because at that point she'd have beaten everybody in the top 5, just everybody, in women's bantamweight. So whoever wins that fight, I think they deserve the title shot next. Also, Manel Kape and Alex Perez. Alex Perez, man, he's probably gonna get cut. Let's be real here. Manel Kape, I was super excited to watch him fight, and he just couldn't. It's so sad, but yeah, who knows? I have a little conspiracy about that also. Alex Perez, he seemed fine, right? But then Manal Cop started talking to him about, like, at the stare down, he's like, I know. Did y'all notice that? He was like, I know about you snitches. I know about you. Something about snitching. And then he said in like the interview something about Las Vegas or what. I don't know what's going on there, but who knows? It's just like maybe Alex Perez, maybe that got. I'm saying maybe. It's a conspiracy theory. Do not take me seriously when I talk about this. I'm just saying maybe. I'm just saying it's possible. Who knows? Maybe Manal Cop knows something that we don't. It's not even a maybe. He does know something that we don't. There's something going on there, but who knows? Also, another one, Andrea Lee, 30-27 for Macy Barber. It just doesn't make sense. All three judges had the first round for Macy Barber. I don't think that was the way to go. Me personally, I think Andrea Lee won the first and third round. I think Macy Barber won the second. First round was just much more clear for Andrea Lee. Second round was much more clear for Macy Barber. And in the third round, Andrea Lee just kind of took over at the end. She just displayed more dominance, in my opinion, for sure. And if you were to ask me who had the more dominant moments, it's definitely Andrea Lee. I think in the stand-up, Macy Barber just did better, but it wasn't as good as Andrea Lee was doing on the ground, in my opinion. Maybe I have to watch that fight back, but I think Andrea Lee won that fight, honestly. I think she should have won that fight. And I'm especially mad about it because I put so much verdict XP on her. I would have cashed out, bruh. If the judges had like swayed just a little bit closer to Andrea Lee, I would have gotten like an extra 2,700 XP. I would have probably been in silver or gold, but I had to settle for bronze because I lost the Enjo Kwani and I lost a lot of XP on Andrea Lee. So unfortunate there, but at least I got the last three main card fights. Nate the Train, bro. I love Nate the Train so much. That guy's amazing. How can you not like Nate the Train? Come on. How can you not like Nate the Train? Nate the Train is amazing. This guy is incredible. There were a few doubts that I had for him in this fight that I was kind of worried about. All the doubts were gone. All the doubts flew out the window when he got that submission win. And Nate the Train is incredible. I wanted to fight Alex Caceres next. I need to see that. I want to see that. That's going to be such an amazing fight. High-paced, action-packed fight. Yeah, man. Also, Daniel Lacerda, are you guys really going to cut him? I know he's 0-4, but he just put such an incredible fight on with CJ Vergara. He almost won that fight, too. He maybe even should have won that fight. But how are you going to cut him after fight of the night? Come on. One more fight with Daniel Lacerda in front of a crowd, and I assure you it's going to be great. I assure you it's going to be good. Just put him up against a good striker, someone that'll make the fight fun. And CJ Vergara putting on a really nice post-fight interview, kind of inspired me as well. Got a little teary-eyed, afterwards. Nah, I'm playing, but it was a really nice post-fight interview. It's about how like you can bounce back from anything, any adversity. Doesn't matter. I'm the prime example of that. You can bounce back. It's possible, and yeah, I think that's great. Also, Steven Peterson retiring. His performance was really lackluster. I was kind of disappointed, but then when he retired, it was like, yeah, now I see where that's coming from. He said he wasn't initially planning on it, but then looking at his performance, he knew he was done, and yeah, he had a long career. He's fought a lot of wars. He's been hit a lot of times. Maybe calling it quits for Steven Peterson was the right way to go, but yeah, I don't know, man. Either way, fun card. Card was nice, even though there was only like 10 fights. I think I got a perfect 50% on my picks. So, I literally got the first two right, and then in the middle there was just nothing, absolutely nothing correct. And then I got the last three fights. It's kind of crazy there, but yeah, this video is long enough. But Cory Sandhagen, he's incredible. He's great. He's improving, and he continues to impress me, honestly. He didn't impress me too much with the Song Yadong fight, but this fight, he definitely impressed me. He definitely impressed me with this one. And Chito Vera, I still love Chito Vera. I'm always going to be a fan of Chito Vera. That guy's amazing, and I can't wait to see him bounce back. I think he has a lot of things he needs to improve on. That's just the fighting game. You're not ever going to be perfect in the fighting game. There's always something that you could improve on, and that's what both these fighters are going for in the end, and I think that's great. And yeah, good card, fun fights, and Cory Sandhagen, could he make another run at the title? If he fights Sean O'Malley and beats him, then yes, I do think so.